Christians and the Muslims and the Buddhists and interfaith dialogue. I kind of like the Martin Luther King of the Jews.
What?
Grabs has a dream.
You know where I always end up talking to Muslims?
Where?
When I take a taxi.
Oh yeah.
When I take a taxi,
They make some of the best taxi drivers.
I always get a Muslim or a Jew. One or the other. I get a Muslim or a Jew, and I get a Muslim in the front seat, and they're always like, they see me, and then they got to start telling me everything that they know about Judaism and Islam and how they're the same and everything. And I have to listen to the same speech every time on the way to the airport. I'm like, God. And it's like, oh, 80% of the two religions are exactly the same. 80% are the same.
Right.
And then the more you talk to, the more he talks, the more you realize he doesn't follow 10% of his 80, right? And he doesn't know 8% of your 100. He does. He's an idiot. He's just a taxi cab driver.
Yeah, that's one thing that annoys me about Christians and Muslims is they all seem to think they know about Judaism.
Yeah, but they only know what they've been told from their side.
They all think they know Judaism and they know Bookus.
That's true.
Like, it's amazing. Like, Jews know they don't know anything about Christianity. Like,
Well. Here's the sad thing.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before. Secular Jews, most secular Jews, don't know the first thing about Judaism, and they're also looking at Judaism through Christianized, secularized, colored glasses. Okay, so all they think is that Judaism. It's like you have like the Christian Bible, and you take away the New Testament part, and what you left is Judaism. That's not Judaism at all. If you were to follow all that, you'd end up with some sort of perverted religion that is not recognizable today as anything, and it doesn't even remotely look like Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Judaism is the Talmudic religion. It's all based on the Talmud, and secular Jews don't even know what the Talmud is. They've never heard of it. Because it's not in the secular world, it's minimized. It's marginalized. Christians marginalize it because they have to. Because the Talmud tells you that Christianity, what's the word I want? It refutes it.
Yeah.
It doesn't leave any room for Christianity. It doesn't leave any room for secularism, right? So they don't know either. Listening to a secular Jew, and I get these all the time. They come up to me, Rabbi, I can explain to you why they can't mix milk and meat. It's because back then they didn't have refrigerators, and I have to sit there and listen to this, and it's because they don't have a first clue about the Talmud.
Yeah.
They don't have the first clue about oral Torah. They don't have the first clue that God spoke to Moses at Mount Sinai, and these are the laws that he said. It's not a they. It's not a bunch of men sat around and they made rules up. It's not a rabbinic religion. You know who thinks it's a rabbinic religion? The Islam and Christianity. That's originally where that all started. They had to call it that to legitimize their own religion. So, so once you say, it's all man-made and it's marginalized, then you don't need to follow it today.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know the men today know more than the men back then, according to their thought process. I would happen to disagree with that. I think we de-evolutionized as a people. I think the people back then had a greater grip on reality than we do now. But that's a whole other argument. But the point is, they don't have the first clue what their own religion is. And that's thanks to Islam and Christianity fogging the situation, and unfortunately secular Jews today, that's all they know from. They don't even know what their own religion is. So the first thing you have to do is, once you get past listening to about all the refrigeration, and all this other stuff, and then you have to explain to them what Judaism is. And then it always comes down to this. You do this because, you follow me? You do it because God said so. And then, it basically comes down to that. And that's what you have to come down to. Do you believe that God created the universe in 6 24-hour days? Right? And he gave the flood and wiped out the earth with a flood. And it's the same God that that's alive today and runs the world today. If you believe that, then you can follow Judaism. If you can't, then Judaism's not for you.
Okay, great. I think we've pretty much wrapped it up. Another scintillating 90 minutes of Torah talk. And see you crazy kids.
Hopefully next week,
Yeah.
I'll be able to review your book. Hopefully, but no promises.
Okay, awesome.
Hopefully. I have to do some more reading.